Yo, what's up guys? Inco here with the build update for the Lightning Strike Poison. And this is going to be going over some bosses early on that we killed once we got the dagger. If you're still in Helix, I know it's pain, but we'll talk about all of that later. And go over the boss kills. We'll go over the Exarch kill. And after that, we're going to show some gameplay of mapping, go over the gear, mistakes I've seen going over people's POBs and like upgrades to make. And just kind of help everybody with the build. If you have any questions, post in the comments, stop by the stream, let me know. And we're going to let this play out and let you guys listen to the Exarch because it's probably one of the coolest fights in arenas. Alright guys, take care.
Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
The Atlas must remain mine.
Disintegration, cleansing, incineration. The fires of 1,000 suns.
I shall extinguish them all.
You do not have the strength, hatchling.
That may be, but I am not alone.
How pathetic. Incineration. This
Nope.
realm shall be studied by.
I realized the fucking mechanic too late. I was like, wait a second, that's the explosion.
Disintegration, cleansing, annihilation. The hatchling surprises.
That's what it gets for trying to invade my Atlas.
Alright, so we'll run a map real quick and then we'll go over the gear. So a bunch of mistakes I've been seeing in stream, going over POBs and helping people with that. And by no means is my gear optimal at all. But honestly, once you have the dagger, like your gems on swap to level up while you're doing Helix. And for all those people still out there with Helix, I know Helix is pain. Trust me. Did it for like a day and a half. But I promise, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see. This Helix and maps, like don't get me wrong, Helix is amazing for leveling. But Helix and maps, like there's so much backtracking and stuff. It just feels so bad. But yeah, once you're in the Lightning Strike, oh man. Honestly, it's like a whole new world. Just run through, doing league mechanic, throwing whatever in. Not looking at the mods or whatever, just throwing them in. I don't want the video to be super long because we still have to go with the gear. Goes to the boss. And he's dead. Take that. Do this last one. Alright. I'll come back and clear that map. Like I said, I don't want this video to be too long. So, some mistakes I've seen. Why is it showing a waypoint out here? That's weird. The mistakes I've seen going over, looking at builds, helping people on the stream. First thing, people always ask about the dagger. Oh my god, you know, first day it was like 3, 4x. This is going to happen. Anytime a build is super popular and people want to make quick money, they want to take advantage of those people that, I don't really say like don't know or don't want to do stuff to actually, you know, get the dagger. So even this, the second day, the price has come down immensely. Right now on the pneumatic dagger, which you don't need also, you can do hollow point, pressurized, or this one. They're already down to like 1.5x. And what you can do, and what we've been doing in the stream to help people out, when someone finds one of these daggers, they'll split it and either give it, you know, just the cost of a split beast or cheap to whoever they split it to, because there's a lot of people on my stream also playing this build. They're like helping each other out. But as you see, like there are people that are selling split ones already, but you find like not split ones like that, you buy it, you know, you split with someone else playing the build, save a bunch of money, or you find it yourself. The 2 blueprints it comes from, you will also make a lot of money running. You can't really go wrong running these. You run the prohibited library and the laboratory, and those are replica or experimented items. There's a lot of items that you can get that are very common that sell for a lot right now. Replica last resort, replica conquers efficiency. There's obviously jackpot items too, like shroud, pharaoh's fur, alberons, all that stuff. So again, price is going to keep coming down as people get through the atlas and get into heist nodes and that. It just depends how fast you want to get it. If you just want to bite the bullet and run heist, save yourself a lot of money and honestly make money along the way, or just wait for the price to keep coming down as more people start heisting. It's personally up to you. But what you're looking for in the dagger, you want to get a lot of elemental damage, so you can craft with any of the essences. Like this is a very bad dagger. Honestly, I was just so done with Helix. I just wanted to get into Lightning Strike and actually feel like I was mapping. So ideally, you want to get a bunch of elemental damage and either attack speed or crit chance. And then whichever of the 2 that you don't get, you craft it. So here I got attack speed, I crafted crit chance. The rest of this weapon is literally terrible. It's very bad. Other things I've seen people with mistakes on their profile. Mantra Flames. We get a lot of fire attack damage because we have a lot of buffs on us from our auras. Put this in. You don't have to worry about fire damage anywhere on your gear to proc Immolate, which is another thing you want to make sure that you're proccing. You need any fire damage and crit, you're going to burn the enemy, which is then in turn going to proc Immolate. Immolate is the best support gem right now for this build that adds flat, because the added gems all got nerfed by about 20% this league, and later on you do go into a Awaken added lightning, but that's also just stronger because it gives you the +1 to lightning strike, right? Another thing, this mod, please get this. It adds a lot of damage. And on the new Eldritch mod, the red one, the Exarch, you can get strike nearby target. I've been unlucky with all mine. I'll probably buy some and just spam for it so I can get out of Ancestral Call. Like all the gameplay footage you've seen, the bosses before and that, it's all Ancestral Call. But once we get strike on our gloves, we get another link, and that's a lot more damage. So just showing like Ancestral Call setup and that, you can definitely kill everything just fine. But yeah, you can also, on the blue part, which is the Eater of Worlds, you can also get Projectiles Pierce here, which is another thing I want to talk about that I've seen going over POBs. Some people have 0 Pierce, which is going to make LS feel awful. You, in my opinion, want at least 3. You can get 3 from the tree right here at piercing shots. You get 1 here, and then 2 on the actual notable. There's Anomalous Lightning Strike, which pierces 2 at 20% quality, but I mean, like, they're probably pretty pricey. You can get Lightning Strike pierces 3 enemies on a helmet, but that's going to be giga pricey because you want a Blizzard Crown. A Blizzard Crown is going to give you a ton of damage. Another thing I see, please just get a Blizzard Crown. Throw some essences on it and use it. You want to cap your spell suppression, ideally. Mine's pretty scuffed. I need to recraft my armor in that. A lot of my gear is pretty bad. So, Anointing Divine Judgment. Another thing, it'll give you a lot of damage, and it's a sepia, teal, and black oil, so it's very cheap. As far as a shield, you're just looking for like spell suppression, life, resist if you need it. I actually don't even have this quality. Resist if you need it, and then crafting attack speed. Crafting attack speed, they updated it. Now you can get 12%, which which is nothing to scoff at. Attack speed on this build is insane, which is also why these two focus mods, this one gives you a bunch of attack speed while focused, and it works in tandem with the best poison mod, duration of ailments while focused, because poisons stack, so you want those poisons to last longer. So when you focus, not only are you getting 30% increased attack speed, in the 140% increased duration of ailments, so your poisons are going to stack and stack and stack, and that's how you get that really nice ramp at the end. Stygian Vice is another thing. You can get a lot of flat and like life and whatever you need on a jewel. Like this jewel's pretty scuffed. I needed to resist initially. We don't really anymore, but you can get a lot of flat and a lot of damage on here. One more mistake I see, your cast when damage taken setup. So whatever level you take your cast when damage taken setup to, make sure your withering step is higher. You do not want your withering step to be triggered by your cast when damage taken setup. You want wither on your left mouse button to keep your elusive as high as possible. Ideally, with doing this on your left mouse button and running through a map or bossing, like actually attacking a target, you're going to keep your elusive at 80% or above, which is going to give you the most damage. You don't want your elusive just to run off naturally like it would here without getting any other form of elusive, because the lower and lower and lower it goes, the less damage, the less movement, the less defense you have in that. That is why we have a withering step on our left mouse button. And obviously like it refreshes when you crit and everything. And the increased duration on withering step, I also found an anomalous withering step, so we're using this. It's very nice. And it gives us extra wither on the enemy and increased duration. It makes it so that our withers are lasting 5.2 seconds currently. It'll obviously be more as we, quality increase duration in that. But it helps us stack our wither easily in tandem with our totems. I also don't know who, like, where... It definitely wasn't Rue. At least I don't think so. Because, like, I've seen his POB. I've seen people using Spell Totem Wither. Don't use this. Ancestral Protector, especially later on, when you get Phantasmal Ancestral Protector too, for increased effect. This is giving you a lot of attack speed. And what does attack speed do? Lets you stack your poisons faster and in turn more damage. Do not use Wither, Spell Totem, and multiple totems on this build. Ancestral Protector, Withering Touch, and multiple totems. It's going to give you a lot more attack speed. And this isn't like Omega Wither, but between this and your Withering Step, your withers are going to be completely fine. So you're going to do a lot more damage by having this, giving you a lot more attack speed, and you attacking a lot faster and stacking those poisons than spell totems and worrying about getting your wither to 15. As far as jewels, you're just looking for like this one's Omega Scuff. You're just looking for like life, attack speed, damage, chaos damage over time multiplier, stuff like that. Make sure you have additional curse on your tree. I've also seen people have mark on hit linked to despair. This does not work. Mark on hit is only for marks. So you want to use Poacher's Mark here. And then until you get an influence ring, just use a mark of submission with despair. It's going to give you that second curse. And when you're like that, make sure you have Whispers of Doom. The critical strike chance increased by spell damage is nice early on. Once you have enough crit and like you have your amulet anointed to go up to like 420 crit chance, you can actually remove this to go to the 10% plus chance to suppress spell damage. Obviously the debilitate there doesn't really matter. Prevent +2, meh. The reduced crit does nothing because we have Mistwalker. We don't take extra damage from crits while elusive, which we're always elusive. And you can take the extra suppress damage. That one's actually nice. That way you don't have to get as much spell suppression. Get spell suppression on your chest, like up to 33 or something, I believe, on tier 1. Gloves go up to like 18. You can also get them on the implicit. I will cover in another video like all the implicits you can get. There's actually a lot of nice ones. One thing I do want to mention. On items with implicits already, like this Blizzard Crown, or let's say Fugitive Boots or Two-Tone Boots, do not use the Eldritch currency on them. They will remove that implicit. Not that I know about that or have done it. I'm just, letting you guys know. So yeah, don't do that. Capture spell suppression. Get defensive flashes. You know, our flashes are okay when we pop them. Very nice defensively, unbuffed. Or sorry, not in combat. This is buffed. This is with flash up. Obviously, my gear is pretty jank, but as you've seen, like going through, your accuracy too. That's another thing. Make sure your accuracy is good. I've gone over POBs and looked at people's builds where they do not have capped accuracy, and also there is map mods that you kind of have to pay attention for. Like if you're doing avoid poison, that's a very bad map mod. There's a new map mod that gives less accuracy rating that can also be very bad for us. So you do have to kind of pay attention to more mods, and that could be something that gives your damage. But for single target, two things I could definitely recommend to rush as far as crafts is this, and the attack speed while focused and duration of elements while focused. These boost your DPS a crazy amount, so get them as soon as you can. Your dagger, just throw some essences on. Cover that. Blizzard Crown is a bunch of damage. Please, please, please use Immolate. Get a Mantra of Flames and get the Temple mod with fire damage against birds and enemies, and your damage is going to skyrocket. Like I said, cap your spell suppression. You already have your defensive auras in. Yeah, I'll link my profile. If you guys want to see it, you can always come to the stream or in the comments, ask questions. I try to get back to them. But yeah, if you guys are still looking for a dagger and you're heisting or whatever, definitely stop by the stream. There's still a lot of people that are still, you know, doing Helix and they want to transition into LS. And so they're looking for people that are heisting. And if they find a dagger, you know, you guys can do a deal. Either just have a split beast and they'll give you the dagger for the cost of the split beast, or just a deal to save you some money because they are insanely overpriced right now. The daggers are common, whether that be a pressurized, hollow point, or a pneumatic. A pneumatic is admittedly higher because it's like the higher tier and the one that was in my build and more focused on. But for a dagger set off, you're fine with a pressurized or a hollow point. And those just drop from like, they can drop from lower blueprints than that. But the main thing to get started is just making sure you have this implicit. That's the most important. But yeah, I hope that covers all the questions. I just wanted to go over like some mistakes I've seen in POBs and optimizing stuff and doing, you know, those changes. Your build should feel infinitely better. If you guys have any questions, you can type in the comments, come by the stream, say hi, let me know any feedback or anything you have. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck in Arch Nemesis. Later.